2025 is over, and it's time to look back at what was a relatively solid year for movies. Nothing like the recent highs of 2014, 17 or 19, but we did get a few all-time classics like One Battle After Another and Marty Supreme, as well as box office triumphs for original boundary-pushing cinema such as Sinners and Weapons. But I want to use this video to instead shout out the lesser-seen gems of the year, the movies that may have gotten lost in the pile and deserve your attention. These were not box office smashers, but still some of the best films I saw. I don't think you need my 2 cents on Begonia, Eddington, Hamnet or the Palme d'Or winning It Was Just an Accident. There are plenty of YouTubers offering better criticism on these. If you are interested, here's my top 20, with some notable exceptions due to annoying UK release dates. Anywho, on with the video. Here are the top 10 best movies of 2025 that you've never heard of. Left-Handed Girl was co-written and edited by Sean Baker, the man behind the Best Picture winning Anora. It's his second collaboration with Taiwanese director, I'm gonna butcher her name, Shi Shing-soo, after their 2004 film Takeout. Like the 2015 Tangerine, Left-Handed Girl is shot entirely on an iPhone, which gives it a vibrant digital look. The neon lighting is blown out in a way that reminded me of One Core Y. Similarities can also be drawn to Baker's The Florida Project, as we follow a small, streetwise girl seemingly left to her own devices. Adult life struggles experienced through a child's perspective. You get Baker's trademark compassion and empathy for his characters. However, it remains distinct from Baker's other work through its firm rooting in Taiwanese culture. The street market setting, generational divides, and central superstition around using the devil's left hand gives it a unique flavour. You can stream it now on Netflix. The Golden Spurtle is a sweet little documentary about the World Porridge Championship in the Scottish village of Cambridge. We follow porridge chieftain Charlie as he prepares for the big event. Competitors travel from across the globe to wow the judges with their oats. What sounds like quite an inane subject is actually incredibly endearing. In a world of insurmountable and terrifying problems, it is comforting to watch a small, wholesome story in which the highest stakes are overdoing porridge oats. I am always charmed by people who get so passionate about what I would previously consider mundane, like birdwatching. It's why I love watching Bargain Hunt. There's a keen sense of competition, but most just seem genuinely happy to take part. I think this letterbox review puts it nicely. We don't have many years on this earth. I think it's important to use them being nice and funny and doing what you love and trying to be the best, but being okay wherever you land because at least you got to be part of it. I forget all that sometimes, so I really appreciate art that reminds me. Wes Anderson is clearly a huge influence on the style, almost to a fault. The shot composition, graphics, music and edit are also reminiscent. I was particularly reminded of Bob Balaban in Moonrise Kingdom when Charlie guides us through Cambridge. I enjoy documentaries that do commit to a visual style and tone, as it would be so easy to phone it in and rely on the quirk of the competition itself. I have such a craving for porridge now, just give me a sec. Yep, Lisa Williams would be proud. If you want a cozy comfort watch, check this out. You can rent it on Prime. Incarcerated men go to great lengths to expose the cover-ups and inhumane conditions in America's deadliest prison system. The Alabama Solution received a lot of buzz at Sheffield Doc Fest this year, and has thankfully made an Academy shortlist for Best Documentary Feature. It isn't hard to see why, as this is an extremely impressive piece of journalism. I've seen plenty of prison documentaries before, but never one comprised mainly of the secret footage shot by inmates themselves. Due to the lack of journalistic access, the inmates risk their own safety to capture the abuse, harassment and violence conducted by police wardens. It showcases the power of digital technology in being able to document and expose atrocities. It made me desperately angry and sad, more so than anything I've seen this year. The sense of injustice and lack of humanity from those governing Alabama is shocking. The crimes that ADOC are committing are often far worse than those incarcerated. Slavery was never abolished, but repackaged into a prison system which profits off the labour of black, brown and poor white people. You can watch it on Now TV currently. The follow-up to the Oscar-winning 20 Days in Mariupol documents the Ukrainian counter-offensive in terrifying proximity. It's at times bewildering to think that war is happening right now, sitting comfortably on my sofa with a peppermint tea. The combat documented here is hell on earth. Without sounding crude, it is a truly exhilarating action film, in the same ilk as Saving Private Ryan. The headcam footage places you immediately in the fighting, becoming impossible to sustain that distance. Our carefully built walls that protect us from atrocities happening in other countries come crashing down. Ukrainian soldiers are ultimately fighting a losing battle, sacrificing countless men to liberate their land. The voiceover and music are sadly overstated, given that the visuals speak for themselves, but it is undeniably one of the most important films of the year. Another highlight from Sheffield Docfest, Runa Simi is a simple sweet story about a Peruvian father and son trying to create a Quechan dub of The Lion King. The Quechan language and culture is slowly fading into extinction, and nobody really seems to care. Almost no movies are released with a Quechan dub, meaning native speakers are unable to enjoy or even understand them. The family dynamic here is very heartwarming, and has an important message about the universality of art. Everyone should be able to engage with and enjoy great films. The Lion King is also one of my all-time favourites, so it definitely hit my soft spot. The Blue Trail is a Brazilian science fiction film that envisions a dystopia in which aging citizens are sent to live in a colony once they reach 80. When the government reduces the age to 77, Teresa goes on the run to evade the authorities. I was immediately reminded of the natural cinematography and stunning locations in Beasts of the Southern Wild. There are moments of surrealism permanently etched in my brain, like two fish engaged in a dance-like fight. It is a liberating and life-affirming film, unusually featuring an elderly female protagonist still craving excitement and adventure. We follow characters on the fringe of society, rejecting conventional ways of living. I love how it rejects anti-ageist sentiments for a science fiction concept. Elderly people are not inconveniences, ready to be shuttled off into facilities to make way for a new generation. Happy Birthday was Egypt's submission to this year's Academy Awards, one of the most pleasant surprises of 2025, as I went into the festival screening simply out of convenience. 8-year-old maid Toha goes to great lengths to ensure that her best friend Nelly, the daughter of her wealthy employer, has a successful birthday party. Doha Ramadan gives without a doubt one of the best child performances I've ever seen. She single-handedly carries the movie on her back with her cocksure attitude and resilience, keeping you emotionally engaged the entire time. The class-wealth divide is not unfamiliar territory, but seen through the eyes of a child, it feels even more unjust and enraging. Doha's goals are altruistic, and even then, she is shunned and rejected by the wealthy family because of her background. Late Shift is a Swiss release which has been shortlisted by the Academy for Best International Feature. We follow Floria as she undertakes her nursing shift on an understaffed hospital ward. It's an incredibly stressful watch as she juggles an insurmountable number of tasks while trying to remain composed and professional. Late Shift captures with accuracy how hospital staff are stretched thin, unable to provide the care they desire to older patients. The skyrocketing blood pressure of this film is reminiscent of Boiling Point, but the stress is finely balanced with affecting moments of humanity and connection. I was gripped for the entire time, anchored by a fantastic performance from Leonie Benesh. You can stream this on BFI Player. I caught a screening of The Currents at Leeds International Film Festival, and I was an outlier in how much I enjoyed it. The audience were clearly impatient with this slow, meandering character study, but I found it fascinating. It has a very intriguing setup. After accepting a prestigious award in Switzerland, an Argentine stylist jumps into an icy river for seemingly no reason. Upon returning home, her psyche begins to unravel. You may be frustrated by the lack of answers this film provides, but I loved how it never tries to over-explain anything. Her character's mental crisis is really a mystery for the entire film. It's a surreal and trance-inducing experience which effectively gets under your skin. Harris Dickinson's impressive directorial debut follows a homeless man Mike as he tries to turn his life around. Dickinson is one of the hottest young actors right now, starring in The Iron Claw, Baby Girl, Triangle of Sadness and many other huge releases. Urchin is further proof that the man's talent is limitless. It's an assured and confident feature that balances social realism with abstract moments. Dickinson doesn't search to blame anyone for Mike's circumstances in a didactic way. It's more a commentary on how difficult it is to break cycles of self-destruction through your own personal downfalls and institutional shortcomings. There's a fantastic use of music and incredible lead performance from Frank Delaney. You can stream this on BFI Player. There's still plenty I haven't seen from 2025, so this is by no means a complete list. Who knew that 50,000 films came out last year? That may take me a little while to get through. One of the biggest regrets of life will be my inability to see everything I want to. But our time is finite, I guess. Well, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. Be sure to check out some of these little beauties, as most of them would greatly benefit from your support. See you next time.